Hello, everybody. SMEQuest is a website dedicated to small and medium-sized enterprises, providing useful content, resources, information, features, stories, and news for people running and working in SMEs and startups. SHEQuest is the heart of SMEQuest to recognize and celebrate women from all walks of our life in our diverse and thriving community, showcasing extraordinary examples of courage, triumph, compassion, transformation, skill, and success. Through SHEQuest, we bring stories of women entrepreneurs from around the globe who have achieved success but not without failures or setbacks through their optimism, determination, and pride. Lala Delia once said, she remembered who she was and the game changed. And today, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Gail Gibson, the founder and CEO of Gaisha Consulting Ltd. She launched her company in 2014, delivering award-winning executive performance coaching programs and inspirational presentations around the world. She was born and raised on the sunny shores of Perth, Western Australia. In 1994, Gail moved to UK, where she lived and worked for 24 years, establishing and growing two successful businesses. In 2018, she relocated to Johor Bahru in Malaysia with a husband of 26 years. Gail's simple yet incredibly effective coaching techniques have led to life-changing transformations in mindset, performance, and well-being of her numerous clients. Her mantra in life is think bold, act brave, believe in you. Welcome, Gail.
Thank you very much, Neera.
So Gail, how did you realize that you wanted to become an entrepreneur, and what was your journey like since then?
So back in 2005, I was in a corporate role and I was feeling at crossroads, and I decided that it was time for me to take a leap of faith from my unhealthy management role. I've discovered that it was my time to build a working lifestyle that was this time driven by my own goals and dreams, not somebody else's. So for years I'd been working to goals and dreams for others, and it was time to take it back and make it my own. So right from the beginning up until today, I really feel that it's been a really exciting yet challenging journey of self-discovery. And throughout my journey, I have been able to meet many, many inspiring and supportive people. And I've really built an extensive toolkit of both personal and professional skills. And I'm really grateful for the experiences which I know have shaped who I have become and how I continue to thrive and deliver my business.
Right. No, that sounds very exciting. And how would you say that other women should prepare themselves before starting their own companies?
I think one of the things that I reflect on that I wish I had known actually right at the start was knowing my purpose. You know, we go into business, it might be something that we are quite passionate about right from the start, but knowing really why we want to do it is so vital, because it helps us stand out from others and it helps us to really stay focused and be at our productive best to achieve what we want to achieve. Another thing is to be prepared to step out of your comfort zone. You know, the best things in life come when we step into that zone of magic, when we let go of what we thought was secure and comfortable for us, but actually when we take that step out, and a bit like the leap of faith I took, it helps you to challenge yourself, you gain confidence, and you can also build a lot of resilience. I think it's very important for women to have a financial cushion, so something to support them for at least the first 6 to 12 months of business, because there's a lot of unforeseen costs that come along, and you often find that you will invest in programs and people that can help you get to the next stage. But where are you going to get that income to start with? It's good to have some cover. But I think one of the most important things is to learn to network, so getting out there and actually meeting people. For me, it was one of the most important things I did. It was and still is to this day, my marketing strategy of choice. It opens new opportunities, helps me to again gain my confidence and grow myself and my business. And it's become such a vital part. But the thing to remember is to prioritise you. make sure that your well-being is taken care of, and that you do take time to stop, to reflect and to pause so that you can deliver your personal best.
Yeah, totally. And, talking about networking, you've even published a book on how to network effectively to build better business relationships. Can you tell us a little bit more about the book and, give us some tips on how we can build our own network?
Okay, thank you. The most important thing with network is not to be afraid of it. A lot of people who I've met along the way, and even right at the start, was like, it's a time when you have to stand up and you have to talk about yourself. So when you come from corporate, you have this team around you of people that support and do different roles in your business. And all of a sudden you are by yourself. But when you go to network, it's as easy as it's an everyday interaction. It's when we have conversations with people, we talk, we interact with family, friends, customers, people that we talk to at the shop. It is this everyday interaction, but it's about learning how to ask questions. It's about learning how to listen, and it's about learning how to help others as well. So celebrating and helping others to achieve success. But with networking, you can develop a fantastic group of trusted advisors. You can build a whole team of clients, but you can build people who will continue to support you, like-minded people who will celebrate your successes, but also support you when you're facing challenges and you may be down and you're feeling like everything's not working out for you. But I think one of the tips I can share when it comes to networking is to find a place where you feel that you can be your best. So look around and try out some different networking events that might be on. There's women only ones, there's mixed networking. It might be online networking as well. So just go along and test the water. But if you're starting to see that people are listening to you and you're feeling that you're being heard and you're being supported in the things that you're talking about, use that as a base to keep building that confidence and keep learning as much as you can about what it takes to be able to go out there and network with others. Be with people who inspire you, who also motivate you. But another thing is, in today's world, and particularly with the crisis we're going through now, is develop a strong online presence. So LinkedIn is a fantastic tool to build your networking group, your circle, so you can start to think about who do you know already, who do they know, who are people that you maybe worked with in the past who you see would be effective people to be connected to. Maybe they can introduce you to somebody. But when you go on LinkedIn, make sure it's a consistent effort. So once you start talking on there and discovering and sharing your voice, keep at it so that people see you showing up on a consistent basis. And then you can take those conversations deeper and you can potentially win clients and build your business that way as well.
Yeah, and I think you're right, because the consistency is important, and even for somebody that you want to network with, they should be getting something from you as well, because it can't be one-sided. So they have to see that there is something that they're getting from that relationship.
That's right. Reciprocity is definitely the way to go.
True. The other thing that you mentioned was about well-being. Mm-hmm. Now, again, you know how women are. I mean, we just find it very hard to prioritize our own well-being, whether it is physical or mental, because that just takes a backstage. What would you say are some of the ways that women can maintain their mental well-being on a daily basis?
I think the first and foremost is to block some time. It's blocking out time in your diary, in your day, to say, this is time for me. And I'm not a mother, but I have so many friends, and I know that you too, Neera, are a mother. And so being a mother, you're doing lots and lots of different roles. But anybody who wants to prioritise wellbeing needs to protect that time. So my working day doesn't get started until I have been able to do my fitness and my morning routines, because it's become a positive habit, and it's something that really, it fires me up for the day. It ignites my mindset and it gets my body ready for coaching my clients, being at my most productive best as well. So I think that blocking the time and protecting it is something that I would suggest that you enable yourself to have time to actually be quiet, maybe just to reflect on your thoughts, maybe write down what you're grateful for in a journal. Maybe it's just sitting and meditating, but just having that peace and quiet, because our days are so busy, our minds are very, very active all of the time. And when you come out of that time for yourself, you emerge feeling quite recharged, and you can be very ready for whatever your day may bring.
And were there any noteworthy changes that you had to make during your journey?
At the start of my journey, I actually had a very unhealthy lifestyle. So throughout my life, I've been a sports person and I've done a lot of fitness. But there was a time during my corporate career that I adopted quite a very unhealthy mindset and an unhealthy lifestyle. So I was overweight, I was a smoker. And when I embarked on my entrepreneurial journey, I decided then and there that it wasn't only life goals and dreams of my own to work toward, but it was about time that I had to just put myself as the priority. And so I gave up smoking, I changed my eating plan, and I started running. And now we are 15 years down the road since I took that first leap of faith, and I have kept well-being as my number one focus, and it's always been the thing that I go back to. And I'm still running to this day, and I have maintained a healthy weight for the last 15 years, and I'm really proud to say that I am a very happy, a very contented non-smoker.
Fantastic. And you are really an inspiration. And again, you're known as a can-do coach, so you proved that as well by doing it yourself. Mm-hmm. Now, tell us a little bit more about this technique that you use, the can-do technique, and also if there are examples that you can share with us of other women leaders who had a breakthrough after this coaching.
Okay, definitely. So the can-do mindset links directly to the growth mindset. Now, Carol Dweck is a US psychologist who penned the term growth mindset, and it's all about thinking that rather than having a fixed mindset where we feel that people are born with natural talent and that when we face a setback, we should take it as a negative experience, or if we're faced with challenges, do we really want to do them, or do we try and take the easy road? The growth mindset, or the can-do approach to life, business and career, is all about facing challenges and saying, what is the opportunity from this? What can I learn from this? And it's also about building resilience. So one example that I wanted to share is a client of mine from a number of years ago, Sammy Ryan, and she is the Chief Executive Officer of a professional organising consultancy in the UK. Now, she is somebody she is great at organising other people's lives, and she came to me for coaching because she was lacking in confidence to do things for herself and to also come up with strategies and overcome some of her limiting beliefs around her own ability to actually take leaps into new directions and into new markets within her business. So through the course of the coaching that we did together, she was able to recognise and accept that for herself to succeed in business, that she had to take stock of who she was, what her why was all about, what her values were, and whether her values aligned with the person that she was and the person she wanted to become. It was looking at where she'd come from as well, and some of her background experience. So thinking about the things that had shaped her, maybe her beliefs and some of the conditioned behaviours she'd held on for a while. And what we did over a course of many months was help her to prioritise self-care that we've talked quite a bit about already today, so putting well-being first, but then also that enabled her to gain a lot of clarity and a lot of focus about where she wanted to go to. She was feeling better in herself. She was starting to say, I can do this, and I can break through some of these self-limiting beliefs that previously held me back. It also helped her to develop some techniques. So there was many techniques and tools that I shared with her that she was able to harness and make best use of, and also maybe innovate a little and create them as her own style. But she took responsibility. She became very accountable for her own actions. And what it gave her was the opportunity to, rather than have high peaks and troughs in her business and in her mindset, she was able to have more of an even keel going forward. So she wasn't having those reactive moments. She was able to go, you know what can I learn from this? I won't do it the same next time. I can do it maybe slightly differently, or I can take a different approach completely. And it enabled her then to spread her wings and soar. And I was so proud of what she's achieved. We're still friends to this day, and she still taps back in for accountability coaching as well. She's now gone on to develop an extensive team. She's diversified her business into various sectors in the market, and she continues to prioritise and focus on her own self-development for success.
Right. So you were kind of to Sammy what Wendy Rhodes was to Bobby Axelrod.
Not quite, but she made such a personal commitment to adopting this strong can-do or growth mindset, to win through her challenges, to be accountable, to be more productive in herself, and ultimately to achieve the great results, which I guess was the right way to go about it.
Right. And you know what, there's been a lot of discussion, and we've had this discussion too previously, on women, their struggle to reach the C-suite, be it the glass ceiling phenomena or the issues with gender stereotypes. What, according to you, should women do to find their own path?
The key area that I like to focus on, and I think this is one thing for C-suite leaders, is to think about the strengths that you have already. So what can you do to completely master the strengths that you have? So a lot of people will always go to those areas of development first, and they're thinking maybe those weaknesses. Those can be worked upon as well, but I believe that if you can strengthen the strengths that you have and move toward mastery with those, you can start to embed naturally some of those other areas of weakness, and they can be upskilled and reskilled along the way. So I think one of the skill areas that I see in strength today that is vital is the soft skills. So such things as empathy, assertiveness, confidence, and those communication skills. So particularly for women, I always say that get yourself a good mentor or a coach that you can work with, somebody who will help you master those skills, somebody who will help you develop those leadership skills that you really need, so that you can go not only on a personal journey of discovery for yourself, but you have that support. You've got that team that will support you and help you bring out the best in you. Together, you can support each other, but together you can also help each other succeed.
Well, it's interesting you said, soft skills like assertiveness, confidence, and communication. There's another flip side to it, which I notice a lot, is women who are confident or assertive or have a certain communication style. Do you feel that such women leaders come across as less likable compared to men?
I think that historically, women that we may have seen who had those types of assertive tendencies may have been seen as being bossy and overbearing, and they were being, without using gender terminology, but maybe being more masculine in their approach to leadership. But I think with the work that we do today in leadership, we're trying to remove that gender bias. And so I think that it is possible to be competent and be likeable. And I think that women need to feel in themselves and know in themselves that they can stand up and have their voice. And if they are coming across and maybe showing that bossiness, to me, that is them showing that they have a voice and they are confident in their own skin. The women leaders that I have generally been empathetic, they have been confident, and they have also been competent leaders who have been allowed to have a voice. And so I am grateful for that experience, but I believe that there's much more room and much more learning and coaching and leadership that needs to be developed to win through that situation going forward.
So Gail, achieving anything in life is never easy, and you for one definitely know that, and often we fail. Now, some of us are able to recover from that, but many people give up. Has that situation ever happened to you? Has failure ever stopped you from, falling down and trying again?
Failure hasn't ever stopped me. I guess it gives you a chance to reflect. And I think having developed and maybe, I don't know, I think I've always had a can-do mindset, that growth mindset. I'm faced with any failures that have happened in my business, and I've had several. I've never looked at them as a stopping point to say, you know what, I'm going to give up. I've always believed that there is another way, and it's a time to take stock and learn and say, you know, this has been a challenge. It set me back maybe a bit, and on one occasion I had a very serious financial setback caused by another person, but I didn't allow that to cloud me. I learnt from it, and I said, you know, they did what they did. It was tough to come back from to get started, but I just got back up again. I guess the analogy to use is getting back up on the horse when you've fallen off. And I got back up on that horse, and I decided to ride with confidence into my future. I just don't ever let failures stop me in my tracks.
Fantastic. Well, it was such a pleasure talking to you, as always. Thank you so much for talking to SHEQuest, and we wish you the very best in everything that you do, as always.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.